I have such a strong love-hate relationship with screen protectors, it is not even funny. I avoid them most of the time, not because I don't find utility in them, but because I have such a hard time installing them correctly. There's always a bubble, there's always one tiny piece of lint that ended up there underneath the screen, and it drives me insane. However, about a week ago, I installed a screen protector on this guy here, my Pixel Fold, and it was a white stone screen protector. This is, of course, a tempered glass screen protector, and the process was extremely easy, and the end result was extremely impressive. If you want to see that full video, I'll drop it in the description down below, and you can see up close how that process worked and what the end result was. Now, about a week after posting that video, Whitestone actually reached out to me and they asked if I had any other devices I would like to test screen protectors on. And they also said they have some other more advanced screen protectors that might offer an even more impressive result. And I said, sure. It just so happens that my wife, who is now using my Pixel 7 Pro, saw this screen protector, saw how good it looked, had a scratch on her screen already that I think I probably put on there without realizing. I'm not going to blame it on her. And wanted to know if, similarly to my Pixel Fold, if a tempered glass screen protector would, one, protect it from further scratches, but two, make that scratch less visible. So I said, you know what, if you've got one for the Pixel 7 Pro, send it on over. So they did. And this first part of this video, I'm going to show you the installation process on one of their dome glass screen protectors. These protectors are very different. These are not your run-of-the-mill screen protectors you've used before. They're not just a film or a piece of glass that sticks on. These things use liquid adhesive and UV lights to harden the adhesive. It's a very strange experience, and hopefully the first part of this video will help show what that process is, and then after that we'll talk about the end result. So this is their dome glass protector kit. I have not done one of these in a while, although I have done one in the past. Today we're going to be putting it onto my Pixel 7 Pro that my wife is actually using. These things are a little different, okay? You've put on screen protectors before, but you probably never put on a screen protector quite like this, as evidenced by what is in this box. There's a lot in here. So this, I believe, is a UV light that is used at the end. If I can get this thing open, it's used at the end to basically set the adhesive. You'll put this over top of your phone after everything is done. This should be our adhesive here, and then this is basically a thing that the phone sits in to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. So the first thing we're supposed to do is take these little bits of black adhesive, and we're meant to cover up the buttons and any of the open ports on this device so that none of the adhesive actually gets in. So we've covered up a microphone up top, the buttons on the side, we have the USB and then speakers on the bottom, and then I think the SIM tray was over on this side. So we're pretty safe at that point. We also have these little absorption pads that you're going to stick into the sides, and that's meant to also catch any runaway adhesive. So mine came with this thing sitting up here, but the guide said to remove it and to drop this thing in here instead. And then at that point, we can actually put the device into the jig, as they call it, and this should hold it in place while we're going through the rest of this process. We also want to do whatever we need to do to clean it. Now, there is some cleaning stuff in the package. We have some alcohol wipes as well as a couple of little microfiber towels. So we're going to quickly rip one of these open and give it a clean. And then we have this little sticker here to pick up any more pieces of dust that have fallen down onto the screen, because, you know, you don't want these things strapped underneath the screen protector. That's an absolute disaster waiting to happen. At this point, we have another sticker to drop in that's going to cover up your earpiece up here. So it's going to go over this thing here. So it's going to basically guide that into place about as perfectly as possible. I'm actually going to use this piece here to push that down a little bit, and I've actually left a little bit of a fingerprint up here at the top. So we're going to wipe that off again, and let's go back to the sticker because I definitely put some lint up there while I was doing that. This piece is next supposed to slide through here, and then this piece that was up top now fits in there. Now for this next part, you're going to want to make sure that your table is as close to level as you can absolutely get it. Because if this thing is off a little bit, this adhesive is going to start to travel. It's going to start to roll away to go somewhere. So what I'm going to do is that. I think if I slip this microfiber underneath it just a little bit, I think that's going to get it the rest of the way to level. At this point, you're going to take a bottle of your adhesive. You're going to remove the pink side, or the colored side, stick that into this hole, and then open up the top, which should allow the fluid to run out. As you can see here, it's not running, it's not going anywhere, so that is a good sign. They say to wait 30 seconds for all of it to come out. So after about 30 seconds, you can remove this. Now you're going to take your glass. You can tell how it's bent, which way it's facing down, but this is the side that faces down. You're going to peel this off, and you can then set it like this, leaned against the pin. At this point, they say to push down here to let the adhesive run towards the middle of the screen, which you can see denoted with these arrows here. Once it is towards that middle part, you're going to want to pull the pin out, which lets it drop down, and you can see the adhesive now filling out, going to cover the rest of the screen. Now it should take about 100 seconds for the adhesive to fully make its way down to the bottom of the screen to cover up the entire display. So let's wait until that's done. So now we're going to take the UV light here, and we can set this across the bottom, and we're going to press it once to do 15 seconds of this UV light. And luckily after 15 seconds, it will turn itself off automatically. We can then move to the middle part of the device and do this again. And lastly, we can do the top now. Now apparently at this point, it should be somewhat locked in place, which means that we can actually remove it from the jig with just a little bit of pressure like that. That top piece there just kind of peeled itself off. They said you can go ahead and peel off your stickers, but I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Actually, we've had a little bit of some leakage there as well. So I'm going to clean this thing off real quick. All right, so we've cleaned it off, we've taken the stickers off, and now they want to go down to the bottom and do a double click, which should do 60 seconds at the bottom, and then repeat that up at the top. Now we go up to the top, double click again for another 60 seconds, and you actually have to repeat this again. So when this is done, go back bottom and then go back top one more time. So we should be completely done at that point. Let me wipe this thing off, get it nice and clean, and we'll see how we look. All right, so the alignment does look pretty darn good. I definitely had something go at least slightly wrong because I had more of a mess than I think you're supposed to have. I think now the biggest thing for me to do is to turn it on, because there's actually a pretty decent scratch on this screen right through here. Don't know how or when that happened, but I'm hoping that this is going to do a decent job, hopefully, of making that a little bit less visible. And I can tell you right now, it has absolutely done that. That scratch is normally, on a white screen like this, it is normally like crazy visible, and it is completely invisible now. I did get the alignment of the hole punch ever so slightly off. That would probably drive me insane. Hopefully my wife doesn't mind too much. Otherwise, it looks pretty much perfect. So if I'm being perfectly honest, that experience versus just a normal screen protector, the screen protector on my Pixel Fold even, was a far more complicated experience. Now, once you've done it a couple times, it's probably not that bad. But for me, anytime I'm dealing with a liquid like that, and it's, you got to find a level table and everything, and it's running around, that's stuff that's getting a little bit sketchy for me. However, the end result is extremely impressive. When I gave the phone to my wife, she immediately looked for that scratch and was like, wow, I can't see it at all. In fact, she looked at it and said, there's a screen protector on here. It took her a second to even be able to visually recognize that there was a screen protector there. The edges are not super sharp. It's actually very, very smooth going, to make that back gesture and everything. So again, the quality of it once you're done is very, very high, but this is not the screen protector for someone that just wants something quick and simple. This is a much more complicated process. As for the price of this kit, you're looking at $41.99, which really isn't all that crazy. I actually expected it to be a little bit more than this. That's really not all that bad at all. And one feature that I really like about it is the fact that I have so much trouble getting all that dust off of there. Well, I kind of wonder how this would work, but in my mind, I'm kind of imagining if there's pieces of dust that maybe you have missed. Maybe there's that one piece of dust that's floated on while you're doing stuff. As that adhesive rolls out, is it not going to push that piece of dust to the edge? Is it not going to just carry it with it and maybe push it out of the way? Perhaps that's the case. I will tell you, it's bubble free. Like, it is perfect looking, whereas every other screen protector, you're going to have some bubbles to begin with, even if they're little micro bubbles that have to go away. This thing was like picture perfect from the beginning. You can see bubble free, you know, and that is definitely the case. So $41.99 for this one. But of course, they have screen protectors for all kinds of things, and I have now used their dome protector on the Pixel 7 Pro. I actually used one of these way back in the day on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and it was awesome, as well as now on my Pixel Fold, and all three installations were maybe a little bit weird. The Pixel Fold one was an awesome experience to put on, but the other one's a little bit strange, but the end result was really, really good. To me, I am now pretty much a believer. If I'm going to do a screen protector, I'm probably going to do a Whitestone dome glass screen protector at this point. So guys, I do want to say again, thanks to Whitestone for sending this Pixel 7 Pro screen protector over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link to this page here, which is their store page on Amazon. And if you click on that link and then search for your phone and purchase one, I will earn commission off of that. I did not take any money for this video prior. I'm simply passing this along for possible commission down the line. If you think that this process looks like something you can pull off and you liked the end result, as I did, there you go. That's a great way to help support the channel going forward. All that being said, guys, subscribe for more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.